Hi, I'm Michael. Thank you for checking my video. In this video, I'm going to explain these things. First, the summary of my first project to build a system in next few videos. Second, the tech stack of the system. And the third, the coding video with fast playback speed for setting up an application. This is my first project in YouTube, and I'm going to build a VOD service for indie animes. Why indie animes? Because I want to develop something related to an anime. As the first milestone, I'm going to build basic features like sign up, sign in, and the video related features like uploading videos and watching them. So it's not specific to animes, not indie animes for the first milestone, but rather VOD services in general. In this video, I'd like to explain what service, language, or framework I'm going to use for this system and then start setting up an application a little bit. The tech stack of the system is going to be like this. I'm going to use Firebase for sign up and sign in, and also use Trace to swap videos. Why Firebase? Because it's the only service I know to easily upload a large file like a video. For an application side, I'm going to use Next.js with TypeScript, and also use Material UI, which is the framework of React components for material design. However, I'm not familiar with any of these tech stacks so much, so I also need to learn them in this project. For the coding part, I just did a few things. First, created the Next.js project and install Material UI. Second, design a basic layout page and a sign-up page, but I just define React components and will update them for the details later, like CSS. Third, trying to set up an app editor and linting configurations. So at first, create a Next.js project using the CLI. I created the project with the option for TypeScript, and then make sure the project was created successfully, and then created a new file, new page, and tries to access that new page. At first, I was trying to create a sign-up page from the scratch, before creating that, I tried to install the Material UI libraries. This is the command. Then using the Material UI components, I try to design the sign-up page. However, I completely changed the components later, so this will be in vain. I just copied the text field or button from the official document of Material UI. But like I said, I will copy the code from the example project actually. So this is in vain. So I think it's a good example to copy the code from the example project for the starter. However, for the production code, it's better to understand like every elements of the component of the libraries and use it appropriately. Anyway, after designing the sign-up page a little bit, I started designing a layout component. It's because the layout component is used for almost all of the pages in this web service. And there is a good thing in Next.js that we can override the layout for some pages, but I don't define the component like that. And while I'm designing the layout, I got the errors of ESLint, so I started looking into how to fix it, and looking at a lot of the web pages, and this is actually the it seems it's more like the version incompatibility between the Node.js version and the Next.js, I guess, version. So, and I was trying to fix it, but I think I'll give up this one. Oh, actually, I found this bug of the code here. So, yeah, I have the Node.env environment, so I installed the latest Node.js version from Node.js version 12. And then started using the latest version, which is, I think, 18. Then after I fixed the ESLint bug, actually, yeah, even if I fix it, I couldn't like update the format issues. My original intention was to fix the format. Yeah, set the indentation automatically on the files, especially during the save. I mean, on the save time, but it didn't work. And I gave up to fix it, and I just add the dot editor config file, and gave up to run the ESLint automatically. I'm going to fix it later. Yes, I'm still looking into how to fix it. Especially Prettier is another tools to format the Node.js code. I mean JavaScript code. And I was trying to fix them. This is also not a good way to fix. I don't really understand the rules of ESLint for the Next.js, but it should it's better to understand the rules, especially for the production code. Anyways, yeah, after defining the editor config as a workaround, yeah, I restarted. I am writing the layout. I just decided to use the default layout for all pages right now, and probably I'm going to need to fix it later. Then, after that, I'm going to define the container, which is the root component to layout appropriately. And I'm not sure what the meaning of the XR is, so I'm looking into what it is. Then decide to use the XR. Then next, I'm going to define the bottom navigation. Basically, bottom navigation are used in many web services, so I decided to use this bottom navigation, even though it may be too much for the first version of this web service. I don't think there are so many web pages, so I think bottom navigation is probably, will be probably too much. I just copied the bottom navigation from the material UI designs and removed some of the icons from each item of the bottom navigation. And I am confirming the design on mobile version instead of the desktop version. It's better to confirm mobile versions for the designs at first if the web service supports mobile version. It's because the space of a mobile version is very limited, so we have to consider how to design it very carefully for mobiles. And I think I finished designing the bottom navigation, so started designing the upper bar. And upper bar is the bar on the top of the screen. Bottom navigation is the bottom of the screen, and top bar is the bar on the top of the screen. Maybe it's duplicated to have the both of the top bar and the bottom navigation, so maybe I will remove it later. But as the first layout, I define both of them. Then after that, we need the footer. So I'm going to define the footer, but it's not so, actually it's not so hard. However, it's better to copy the footer from the example as well. So I decided to copy from the example project. Actually, I didn't notice that there is a project for there are example projects in the material UIs page, but I found it, so I'm going to find it shortly. Yes, I found it. So I went to one of the example page and copied the footers from there. Then I'm trying to figure out which one is a good footer, and just cleaning up some of the contents. Then I'm looking around for some reason. I don't remember what I was doing at this moment. Maybe I'm trying to figure out the meaning of the property of the component. I think it's something related to the background of the paper component. I'm trying to figure out what the background, what the value of the background is, but I don't remember that value. And I ended up looking into it and decided to move it forward. Then I changed the background to the gray so that it's easier to see the width of the footer. I want to show, I don't want to show any margin on the width of the footer. And I was able to see that if I change the background, so that's why I changed the background there. Then after writing the layout, and rough layout, then decide to write the sign up page as an example page. And for this sign up page, I also copy the codes from the example project as well, because it's easy. Definitely for both of the layout and the sign up page, I have to update later, especially CSS or how the components of React are. But I'm going to do it once I will implement almost every logics on this web service, including uploading videos. Then after designing the sign-up page, rough sign-up page, then started working on cleaning up a project. Basically, add the types for each arguments of functions, because I'm using the TypeScript, and looking into the type. If I don't know what the type is, then I mistakenly changed the property name from children to props, but definitely it doesn't work. Obviously it doesn't work. So, and after that I started to commit the changes in the Git repository. Yeah, it's good to commit changes in small amounts, not like tons of the files, so that we can easily see what the changes are. Then for this is, and just cleaning up a little bit. And I noticed I forgot to set up the GitHub repository, so I created it. I skipped to show some of the recordings to authenticate GitHub here. Then after creating the repository on GitHub and push the changes into the GitHub, it's better to fix the format issues. So I'm going to fix it. Basically, ESLint has a configuration to format, and the Next.js default format rule is the core web vitals. So I'm trying to check it, but couldn't figure out what the rules are. I was very impatient, so I decided to use the Prettier instead. Prettier is also one of the very cool tools to format the JavaScript or TypeScript code automatically. So I'm going to install Prettier and run it whenever we save the file on VS Code. So I'm configuring to run it automatically, only for the JS and TypeScript code. And I'm testing it. Then what I was looking at it. Then I think I'm satisfied with the changes, so I decided to commit those changes and push it to GitHub. In next video, I'm gonna set up Firebase and implement sign up and sign in pages. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed my video. Bye.